Okay, so today I'm excited because we're continuing on with the epic adventure of getting the elevator repaired. And so doing something even more interesting than last time. I barely got through pulling the control panel off of the car, and I'm going up to the cabin. A YouTube viewer told me that that's what that's called because I wasn't sure how to call that motor house. So going up to the cabin, and I'm going to disconnect the main brain plate of the elevator. So I also wanted to make a quick correction. I was saying that it was possible to convert 3-phase to 2-phase, single phase. I have been corrected. And so yeah, I'm learning. So I'm gonna go up there now, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully it'll go a lot smoother than it did down here at the place where we took off the control panel for going up and down. So yeah, a little bit intimidated, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So let's go on up there. I don't have to bring a light up there because there's a door that swings out and lets broad daylight on. The only challenge is that it is incredibly hot. So I got the tools. Oops, still got my tag on there. My Harbor Freight tool tote. And trying to think of anything I could possibly need because I don't want to keep going up and down. But yeah, so I'll meet you up there. Oh my gosh, is it hot up here. This is that real heavy slate stuff. Hopefully it's not as heavy as that stuff I have on the 3rd floor. But theoretically, it just has these 4 bolts that I gotta take out. But I need to run down all the wires and make sure that whatever is on there comes off in one piece. I have to mark these, disconnect them, and then there's some stuff down there I have to do as well. So I brought some silver Sharpies, and I brought some rubbing alcohol to clean the surface off so that I can go ahead and mark it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do first, get that cleaned up. Okay, so I was up there, and that paper towel was looking pretty janky, didn't look like it was doing the job, so I decided to come back down. Just before I was ready to turn around, my iPhone shut off from the heat, believe it or not. So, yeah. All right. I think the iPhone's cooled down a little bit now, and I need to find some kind of a rag or something. There should be something around here I can use. Let me find that, not to waste your time. Okay, so I found a piece of cloth here. It's like an old bed sheet. I cut a square out of it. It's probably dirtier than the thing I'm gonna be cleaning, but that's how we roll around here. And back up to the oven. Whew. So a lot of people had asked me about the control panel for getting the elevator up and down, and where was the button here to call the elevator up. Well, sorry, I'm out of breath. This looks like it's the only way that happens. You would ring this bell probably twice for 2nd floor and 3 times for 3rd floor. And then somebody would hear that and they'd have to get up and go and send the elevator back to you. So there was nothing on the logic board that could call the elevator from a different floor. It had to be manually punched in by the person riding the elevator. There's a small chance we can come up with a solution for that, so time will tell. But yeah, it's a very early elevator, so no luxuries there. As I'm walking up to the elevator shaft here, I just saw this floor. I just thought it might be interesting enough to make mention of. So those are tongue and groove boards, and they're laid across all of these ceiling joists, which are like 2x12s or 2x14s, I'm not sure. Really wide planks, and that's the roof basically. That plank all the way across. And then we got like probably 6 inches, no, maybe 5 inches of applications of, I don't know if that's mop down or what that is, but multiple layers of roofing that has been added up over the years. So, and that, so you're basically just walking on a wood deck with a bunch of tar on top of it. This elevator cabin is much different though. It's got some very heavy duty wood for flooring. So, okay, let's try this again. Actually, didn't do too bad of a job. It's a little bit of a residue, but could be cleaner. Well, that's instantly better. All I want to do is get it clean enough that I can put a mark on it to identify the wires and where they go. So that'll probably work. Dust free. Let me try that again. Yeah, I think it'll mark okay. Okay, so I broke down and put the phone down and actually put some elbow grease in, and it's much cleaner now. So, all right, let's get to labeling. This is not easy to do. Okay, so I got all those labeled and matched up. We got too much light there. 2 goes to 2, 1 goes to 1, 3 to 3, and so forth. So that's done, and there are some additional wires connected to the board there, but it looks like they'll be forgiving enough to let me get this plate off where I can actually access them. So yeah, I'm gonna take the actual plate off right now if I can, if these big bolts cooperate. So everything's steamy. The lens is steamy. The glasses are steamy. That's how bad it is up here. I need a pair of vice grips or a socket. The bolt that's on the back of that plate is actually square, so like a regular wrench won't fit on it. And of course it's spinning when I rotate the bolt that I want to pull out. So I'm gonna have to go find a pair of vice grips. Hopefully I can find one somewhere in this building. So sorry about the steam on the lens. Oh man, just like walking through that door right there. It's like 20 degrees difference. Okay, so it's so hot up there that once I find this pair of vice grips or a socket, well, socket won't work. A pair of vice grips, if it's still going to be disagreeable, I'm not going to fight it. Sorry it's so dark. The light will be back here in just a second. I am not going to fight it. I'll just go home. And I'll get up at like 4:30 in the morning and come where, before the sun is even out. And then as it comes up, I'll start working because it'll be much cooler. But I'm not going to give up quite yet. Let me see if I can stick it out and see how disagreeable it wants to be. Whew, it's totally soaked. I was tempted to drink the last of that, but I don't want to get cramps, so. Is there a band called the Cramps? I can't remember. Okay, so that was actually way easier than I thought. I just gave it a little torque once I got the wrench on the back. And after that little pop, I was able to back it out with my finger. So it was a very nice bolt. It was a real nice guy. I did see that that is going to stop me from sitting this plate on the floor. So I'm going to have to somehow figure out how to disconnect as much as I can before this comes off. So I don't want to get ahead of myself and have it like hanging there and messing up the cable. So yeah, time to start unhooking stuff in the back. Okay, so I got a flashlight and good grief, this is pretty complicated. So I have a lot of marking to do. It's mostly just a heat sink. So the actual wires that I have to disconnect are right, okay, they're right there. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to disconnect there. So that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then here we've got 4 really big ones. 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then, yeah. Fortunately, I found out that for all this hectic stuff here, I can actually disconnect at this radiator plate. So that would stay with the plate, theoretically. So, yeah. I'm gonna just do my labeling now and see if I, this video is kind of boring probably. I can't make a lot of commentary on what I'm doing. I'm just labeling the stuff and unhooking it. So that's the kind of the extent of what I'm able to do. And then the rest will be in Neil's hands. So, okay. Okay, so I had to jump forward a little bit in time. In this temperature, it's like 120 degrees in here. And so I just wanted to get through it. So basically what happened was I labeled everything, got everything disconnected. I ended up making this little chart here for that guy, but didn't have to disconnect it. It disconnected much easier in the back. So everything is labeled and disconnected. And I wanted to say one thing about this, like working on something big like this was kind of intimidating, right? But in my opinion, it is much easier. The screws are gigantic. The screw slots are super deep. The threads are concrete in the screws, you know, and they just back out really easy. And well, I mean, they're not rusted. So when you're working on kind of a little bit bigger scale, it's actually much easier. So that's been a really pleasant surprise. You know, just the heat is the only thing that has really been too difficult about it. And the last thing I got to do is get that bolt off and the bottom bolt there and the bottom bolt there. And I think it should come off 100%. Then I can carry it downstairs and we'll have a closer look at it. I am completely drenched and I just about passed out. I don't know if you can tell how my shirt is just sticking to me, completely soaking wet. But check this out. It came off. And there's actually some great news. That is not slate stone. It's some kind of composite material of some sort, which is lightweight, which is gonna really help on shipping. So, okay. I'm just gonna take a second, get downstairs, get something to drink, bring this out, and we're gonna get a close look at it out in the light. You guys can see what's going on with it. Before we do that, here's what we're left with. So we got this guy, and this, which I believe is the one that was running up in the corner of the elevator and is probably the control signal to the, you know, the push button. And this, I think, is delivering power to the board. I could be wrong on this. No, yeah, this is where it's coming in. Power's coming in. I don't know where that goes, because that one also goes down to the elevator. And this is what comes out of the board and goes into the motor. So I've got 2 different culprits here. which one does what? No idea. That's above my pay grade, so. Okay, I'll see you downstairs. Okay, so I decided to carry the toolbox down first instead of the plate. And my legs started trembling uncontrollably on the steps on the way down. And yeah, so I'm gonna drink that last little bit in that bottle, and I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes. Try to relax a little bit before I go back up there. I think it's heat exhaustion. And in retrospect, it probably would have been better to do that in the fall. And if it hadn't been a complete success and I wasn't already done, I think I might postpone it till some better weather. But yeah, okay, I'm dying for something to drink, so I'm gonna take a break. And next time I turn this camera on, I'm gonna have that down. Okay, so actually, let me step inside so the wind's not in the microphone. I feel like I owe you guys an apology because this is supposed to be a video about working on an elevator and not a video about some dude sweating and complaining. But yeah, it's kind of the story of working on this elevator. So I apologize for that, but as a consolation, I do have it down. Now we can get a good look at it in the light. So you might find this interesting. And yeah, let me show it to you. If you ask me, it's pretty beautiful in its own right. Very sculptural. So these are in threes. 1, 2, 3, and then another set on this side, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that has anything to do with three-phase or not, but yeah. There's that guy, and then there's the plate that you can read. And these are all free moving. And this I thought was that slate stone that I have up there in those gigantic heavy circuit boxes, but it's not. It's some kind of, I think it might even be bakelite, believe it or not. It's a really dense, some kind of man-made material. Yeah, let me turn it around. That's what it looks like on the back. And basically all of this stuff, this is just like copper tubing. It went to that radiator. So, and then a few of them went to these ceramic pipes that are all kind of broken up. So those will probably have to go. And yeah, that's for Neil to figure out. I do have everything labeled and corresponding numbers on everything that I detached. So it shouldn't be too hard to reattach it once it's time. I just need to put the 4 original bolts in it. And what else? I need to build a crate so that I can ship it to Neil. He's gonna go ahead and start working on it. And then hopefully, right here in the fall, we're gonna have some videos to upload about the process of reinstalling everything. So he's gonna actually drive up here and you'll get to meet him. And hopefully we'll be in business. So let me get to my house, get a shower, and then I'll be back tomorrow to build a crate. And hopefully it won't be too expensive to ship this out. I'm thinking it's about 45 pounds. And it's about, I would say, 2.5 feet tall by 2 feet wide. And then there's the thickness of it, like a 1 hand's length thickness. So the package isn't going to be too unreasonable. And yeah, I'll probably send it UPS or FedEx. So, okay. I'm going home. I'm out of here.